Alright guys, Hayzink here, welcome back to the channel for another Disgaearpg video. So if you have been paying attention to the channel, you'll know that at this point I have done a character showcase for the four characters who came out as summonable units at the start of the 7 Deadly Sins celebration. I did say at that point I was going to leave the free to play character till the end, so it is now time to do that. If you haven't already, please consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, comment down below. All of that stuff helps this content push out a little bit further, and hopefully if more people see these things, there's more chances that people will download the game and we can get more players. So it's a big circle and it will all hopefully help the game and me. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the free to play character who is going to be Gowther. Okay, now I feel like a bit of an idiot because Gowther does have a special weapon and I don't quite know how, but turns out I didn't do the event 250 times, because if you do the event 250 times you're able to unlock Gowther's weapon and you will have it in your box and it will provide some special stat boosts. For Gowther in particular, all stat debuff proficiencies used by self is increased by 1.3%. or 1.3 times, sorry, and Gowther's weapon has attack and int on it. The reason he has int on his weapon will become apparent when I do the actual breakdown of his skills and stuff like that, but make sure you get Gowther's weapon as it will make the character just that little bit better, at least in my opinion anyway. So let's go ahead and we will take a look at Gowther's skills. So Gowther is another character who is basically going to get buffed a little bit later down the line. Like I mentioned in all the other videos, I'm not going to talk about the buffs because I just feel like they're so far away, it shouldn't be a deciding factor on if you summon for these characters or not. So we're going to talk about the characters as you'll receive them in your box on global without the buffs, okay? So Gowther is the Goatson of Lust. He is a bow wielding character, okay? His abilities are not bad, so let's go ahead and we'll look at him. His main ability is called This Is For You. Basic party parameters plus 10%, so that's everything apart from speed, as we all know by now. His NE1 is called Memory Invasion, which is basic party parameters other than HP for all enemies down by 6%, okay? So basically he's going to debuff everything apart from HP and speed, okay? His NE5 is called Bow Proficiency, and when you're equipped with a bow weapon, attack and int plus 27%, okay? So again, he's getting another boost to int there, as well as the bow weapon itself boosting his attack and int, okay? His NE7 is called Bye Bye. All damage you take is reduced by 35%. Now, Gowther is a character who we get 4 copies of plus 100 crystals, so you can get him to NE4 for free using the event. So I don't know how many people will take it all the way up to NE7, but if you do, you do get a damage reduction of 35% for any damage that Gowther takes. Now, his abilities are okay. I mean, he's fairly decent. He can do some okay damage because of how he's buffing himself and stuff like that. But obviously, he's a free-to-play unit, so you wouldn't expect him to be quite on the same level as some of the other units. Although I'd maybe argue that depending on your setups, he's probably still better than Elizabeth. But again, that's all down to personal preference. So we've talked about his abilities. Let's talk about his skills. This is where that int starts to become important, okay? So I do have this character at NE3 on Japan. You will see unit super attacks, they'll be happening as I'm speaking right now. But his first skill is called Gatling Jack. It is a G plus rising to F rank AoE skill, and it's also an AoE debuff which reduces the enemy's resistance by 3%, okay? So he's doing some okay damage there, and he's also going to debuff those enemies. Now if you look, the dependency for these attacks, so the things that basically dictates how much damage they do, they're all int based, okay? So that's why his weapon has int on it, and that's why his skills are buffing int, okay? So depending on your setups, if you've got int boosting characters, they're going to help Gowther perform that little bit better, okay? So his level 200 skill, which is called Nightmare Teller, It's going to be a D to rising to C rank single target damage. It's also got a debuff on there, which is a 12% defense debuff, and it also adds sleep. Okay, so if you don't miss, it'll put the characters to sleep, which can also be quite useful. Now, if you get the character to any free, which we can all do via the event, his skill is called Blackout Arrow, okay, and it's an AoE attack, and it's also an AoE effect. So it goes from F plus to E rank. I'll do everything in my power to defeat you, and it can cause the enemies to have Forget cast upon them, okay. Now again, it's a chance, so it might not always happen, but Gowther does have the chance to make them forget, and then they would only be able to do standard attacks to your characters. So again, much like his abilities, I think his skills are okay. He can be a decent unit if you do have him on the right kind of setup, but as he does have INT in his kit, spells, let's see what they've got, okay. I don't really know what INT's got to do with anything, because none of these skills are dependent on INT, but we'll look at them anyway. So first of all, he has Poison at Weapon Mastery 4, which is a 5-turn poison effect. At Weapon Mastery 9, he has Cooldown, which lowers the target's attack 20 up to 35%. At Weapon Mastery 15, he has Resist Break, which lowers the resistance of the target. He has Mega Cooldown at level 22, which is basically just a buffed version of Cooldown. He has Mahi at level 30, which is a paralysis effect lasting 2 turns. And at Weapon Mastery 40, he has Mega Poison, which puts a poison state lasting 3 turns onto the enemy. Now, obviously I feel like Gowther is probably not the strongest unit out of the 7 deadly sins, however he is another bow character. We don't have all that many bow characters. He comes with a special bow that helps him based on his own kit. I feel like Gowther's okay, he's an okay option. He's not the worst of the sins. That honour, I mean, again, it's personal preference, but to me it's probably either a toss-up between a character we've not spoken about yet and Elizabeth. Speaking of characters we've not spoken about, I will do a breakdown for the Platinum Summon units. I just want to give it a few days between this this showcase and those, because there's going to be a week between these characters on the roadmap, okay? So that is Gowther in a nutshell. To me, he was never the most hyped character in the show, and I feel like he's not the most hyped character here, but he is free, and at the end of the day, you will get a 7 deadly sin in your box absolutely free of charge. So that's basically it. You now know the initial rundown. So at the start, you will be able to summon the 4 units we've already showcased. You'll also be able to pick up Gowther day 1 if you want, absolutely free of charge. Let me know in the comments down below what your feelings are, Let me know what your feelings are in the comments down below towards the collab so far. Who are you most excited for? Who are you least excited for? Don't talk about the Platinum units yet, and don't talk about the badasses, because we will get to them. But as it stands, this is it, and I will catch you on the next Disgaea RPG video, dudes. You stay safe, you stay healthy, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.